What's up, guys? It's Megaman 33570, and welcome to the Dragonball Budoten channel. The reason I say that is, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This will probably be the channel trailer for a while on the channel, just giving a basic rundown of what our plans are as Team Budoten for the foreseeable future. We have a little idea of what we're going to be doing in the future, or what works we're going to be doing. As you all know, we do not have a good track record of release dates. This update video alone, if you saw the little episode 33 rewatch live stream we had.
Yeah, it was good to
Thanks,
be back.
guys, for coming
I hope
out.
you enjoyed it. This is the last thing you'll ever see for the next 2 years.
Nah.
Hello.
Nah. The update video is coming out tomorrow.
And it took like a month and a half for me to get the update video out, not gonna lie. But it's because this update is a big one, and I'm going to treat it as an update that will remove all the previous other update videos from the channel. Because for those of you that also don't know, most of our videos on the channel are at this point in time update videos. It's some of the episodes, and there's some Road to Budoten taking up a lot of space on there. But yeah, from this video on, all those irrelevant update videos that no longer matter, like the little episode 30 is going to be out late, like no, none of those anymore. I'm not going to be making those anymore unless I truly need to, if there's a crazy setback. But the way we're laying out this production schedule, we're making it so I really don't have to make any update videos like that ever again. But before I go any further, just let me bring attention to something. I did notice this is a 36-minute video, therefore, for the viewer's convenience, if you go to the description, I'll leave timestamps for you to listen to certain things if you only wanted to tune in for a certain topic. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So first, let me mention, if you're not already doing it, go ahead and follow our Twitter at DBBTEX on Twitter. That's where we're most active. We try and interact more. We try and get a poll out weekly now, and we're trying to kind of gauge our audience more on Twitter. That's kind of our way we've been trying to do it. Yeah, go ahead and give us a follow for the most recent updates on the series. So, now let's talk about, instead of just the channel, this whole thing we got going on. You'll see that there's been a little bit of a change to things. Every time I kind of make a video, I try and stamp the little Team Budoten thing at the beginning. We're trying to expand the channel a little bit, try and get more of a viewer base established, so that way we can start doing more things with the channel than just, you know, a simple fan fiction series. But you know, it's a step process, so you know, that all starts with side content, but we have a numerous amount of side content coming out. Some of the ideas that we have thrown out are a retrospective series, more fan dubs, because I know that was pretty good when I dropped a few of those.
You're gonna pay for this! Frieza!
Director's block, which is where I, as well, basically the sole voice director of the show, I'm gonna do a little interview segment with interesting voice actors that I know could have a lot to say about their character and other stuff, and I'd ask them questions about stuff. But yeah, we have Director's block planned out. More Road to Budoten to come. For those who don't know, Road to Budoten is my live stream show where I stream my progress and usually my gradual decline in sanity, grinding Ultimate Tenkaichi stuff in order to unlock things that I would need for the Budoten series. Also, on that note, we also have a new Twitch channel that we've been working on. We're working on getting more Twitch stuff out weekly as well, trying to be a little more active on Twitch. And just let me know what else you guys are looking forward to in terms of content, because really, as the fans, you guys are really the ones who decide what you want to see from us. We can kind of figure out what we can do and what we can't do. But if you guys want it, like that retrospective series, that was kind of fan-made as well. I say retrospective because I don't like using the term commentary, but it's basically a director's commentary type series. But we'll go over that as it comes out. And the last thing I want to mention on this note before we go over the production itinerary is you'll notice if you look at the series playlists now, there's a little bit of different nomenclature or different names or ways to say stuff for our series. For a long time, for those longtime fans, you guys remember me referring to Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 3. of Season 1. But the nomenclature has changed just a little bit on that note, just for my sake and for the viewers' organizational sake. So here's how it basically goes. We have Season 1. We're currently in Season 1, which now has 3 acts per season. What were previously known as arcs, so Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 3, are now known as Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 of the first season. Taking a step from there, each act, we have their 3 acts, each act is divided up into 2 story arcs. So Act 1 is divided up into the introductory arc and the Neva arc. So that nomenclature has changed a little bit, and that kind of matters a little later on into the update video. So we'll go over that a little later. But let's move on to the production itinerary now. So our first priority will be episode 34. Episode 34 of Element X will be the episode before the climax episode of the Shunli arc, which is the final arc of Season 1. It's in production right now. If I were to gauge it on progress, I'd say it's probably about 40% done. It's not really crazy close to being done, but it's not like far away from being done. But it's an emotional one, so I want to take my time with this one. But it's the episode before the climax episode. Therefore, episode 34 is a little easier to get out. So the way we're going to plan things is episode 34 will have its own standalone release. Episode 34 will come out when it comes out. We're no longer doing release dates. I fucked up on that, and I'm not doing that anymore. We're moving forward for the future. No more release dates. It'll be like it'll come out when it comes out type thing. But with us being more active with our side content on the channel, it'll be easier for us to communicate that to you guys without just being update video every time. But definitely follow Twitter for the best results there. But yeah, episode 34 is going to come out, and episode 35 is going to be a big one, as you can see by the title. So it's going to be a huge one. It's going to be our longest episode to date. So we're going to take our time with it. But because episode 35 is the climax episode, that would mean episode 36 would be our little denouement or resolution episode. So episode 36 doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't want a big gap between 35 and 36, because the events of 36 all are a result of 35 and really can't be that spread apart. Therefore, I will not be uploading more Element X after episode 34 until I can guarantee a dual episode 35-36 season 1 finale release. Whether that means I get episode 35 and 36 out on the same day, or if I drop it 1 week apart, which I might do, just so that way one comes out 8 a.m. one week, and then the next week 8 a.m. comes out episode 36. However, between episode 34 and 35 and 36, so group 35 and 36 together. If 35 is coming out, 36 is coming very soon after. But episode 34 will come out, and then that's where this comes in. So we had this idea a while back when, if you look, it's very similar to the MCU Phase 4 announcement that they made a few months ago. And I figured that would be a cool kind of framework to show what our plan is for the foreseeable future of Budoten, but not necessarily giving release dates. It'll be, this one will come out, then this will come out, then this will come out, then this will come out. So, between episode 34 and 35-36, there will be a big gap, but I'm not going to leave you guys with no Budoten content. So, there will be the side content, but on top of that, I will have different goals that we'll be working on between these gaps. And the first one will be the Season 3 rerun. Yeah, I have a lot of hate for not ever working on this. This was like, I've been saying I'm gonna get it done for years now. Ever since Season 2 Remastered, which if you guys remember, I did a Season 2 remaster about 3 years ago. And that one still had subtitles, but I want for the next season rerun to be fully voice acted. So starring, Guyver Null as Broly, Omega Rockman as Goku, Mega G-Wolf as Vegeta, plus a handful of new voices to the cast, a number of them being Ella GVA as our Goten, and Rose Dubs representing Kid Trunks. But the big issue also with Season 3 is the original Season 3 of Dragonball Budoten on my Megaman 33570 channel is actually muted because of the intro song that I used, which was the Future Diary opening, but I just used the straight opening, that's why. In the Season 3 remaster, it'll be basically a rerun of that, and I have a little preview for that I'll just attach on right here. And then, after the Season 3 rerun, I will be focusing on the BudotenXShinnin crossover! Hell yeah! I've been fucking ready for this shit for a while. So, for those of you that don't know, Shinnin is a fanfic that Platinum and I have always looked up to and have been inspired by. We try and we look up to Shinnin as basically a model fanfiction. It sounds like I'm fanboying over here, and I kinda am, but it's awesome because I really like what he does. He has a very different style from everyone else, and I try and emulate that as well because I took a lot of inspiration from him. And now I finally got to do a video with this man. So we're going to be collaborating together to make a 20-25 minute fight that will be adapted from a little live stream we did a few weeks ago, months, I don't know, I'm an alcoholic. But yeah, we streamed a little exhibition match of sorts on his YouTube channel a while back.
What?
So if you want to go check out the VOD for it, we're actually going to be adapting our fight in our script from the fight that we live streamed. And we're going to be very briefly referencing that live stream in the script. But if you want to go check it out and see the inspiration that it came from, go ahead and do that. I very much encourage you to go check it out because it was a pretty good fight. Shin and I both had a lot of fun doing it, and we're going to have a lot of fun working on the special. But as you'll see, the further right we go down the timeline, the less information I have about each thing because it's further away in our sights. So that being said, in order to help me finish up the rest of the product schedule, please welcome co-creator, co-writer, and voice actor of Kazuki, Platinum TDX!
Didn't need the voice actor part, but what's up, Nabs?
Nah. They need to know. Because as if they didn't know already by your voice, because it's the same thing, basically.
Oh. But anyway, so, I was brought on here to talk about some of the projects that we have coming up, and to elaborate a little bit more on what Megaman may or may not have said. So, in the future, we have this sort of production schedule laid out, and we're trying to follow that to sort of set goals for ourselves, starting with Dragonball Budoten Broly Third Coming. And BudotenXShinnin is a very passionate project we thought would never happen, but it is, so yeah, look forward to that. Next up, Dragonball Budoten Element X Act 1 Remastered. Now, this won't be a continuous thing, like, we're not going to keep remastering Element X shit, like, that's not going to happen. Act 1 is just something we wanted to remaster because there were a lot of things that were done sloppily that we thought could, like, I don't know, we could benefit from a more experienced team. Not only from recording, but from writing, voice acting, even just editing. Like, that was our first attempt at something that hasn't been done before, and it was on Xenoverse. So, it's just, we have to go back and, like, give it the justice that it deserves.
Yeah. Honestly, the newcomers to the series, starting at episode 1, it's probably very jarring to come into. And that's not really something we can avoid. But we do want to get a chance to redo it, and I mentioned earlier in the update video that we're going to be doing a numerous different amount of side content on the channel, and one will be a retrospective series, and you'll see in all of the stuff for Act 1, you'll see how much Platinum and I truly wish we could change and redo about that act. There's voice stability, We ran through voice actors like a motherfucker. Story revision, Neva.
Just Neva. Bullet point. Just bullet point Neva. And it's not like we hated making what we did. I'm proud of what we did.
Right.
Because that's what got us here.
Right.
But
it's still history. And like going forward, like it, as much as we hate it, it has to remain on the channel. It has to be. It's we can't private it and be like that was something I did when I was a kid. Because like although it was a huge part of the channel and like it deserves to be there. But in our story moving forward, and we're not saying we're gonna delete Act 1 and we're gonna put this instead, but in the story moving forward past the Act 1 remaster, since it will come after Season 1 is over, you'll see that moving forward in the story after that, Act 1 will be changed with this new Act 1.
Yeah, and there are reasons we don't really pull reference from a lot of the older stuff that we did, unless it's like Act 2 now.
And it's gotta be very broad for us now, too. We literally will very vaguely mention Neva.
Yeah, it's very broad, too.
We're just like, yes, Neva existed, sorry.
The reason we're doing this is because, as writers, we want to be able to have a sort of backlog of things that we can always come back to and reference or mention. That way we can have characters relate more to what the situation calls for around them. That's how you make good characters and good story. You build up the world around them. But, that being said, Act 1 Remaster will have a way better texture, so to speak. You'll be able to actually watch it and not be like, ugh, yikes.
Yeah.
Because, of course, back then, we were 15, 16. My phone just went off. Fuck.
This update video is coming out, ironically enough, just before the 4-year anniversary of the first episode of Element X.
Which is
freaking
very
wild,
weird. But long story short, we're not 15 and 16 anymore. We can write a much better story, and we have a firmer grasp on what we want to do and who we are as writers. So, we want you guys to be able to enjoy that with us. So, that's that. Next up, Dragon Ball Budoten Xenoverse Saga. Now, you probably have seen the logo on the screen.
This is like the only logo that you couldn't tell immediately what it is by looking at the logo. You're probably like, what?
Yeah.
So what is this? And now we're about to give you a little hint. You're not going to know everything. Just everything here, as you've seen before, is a little sneak peek at everything. And, I mean, we didn't really have anything for the Act 1 Remastered. But that's okay. Because I'd rather not put any episodes of the regular Act 1, you know? But anyway, moving on, we have the Xenoverse Saga, like you said. And yeah, so it's going to be basically, after you guys, so for those of you who don't know, Dragon Ball Budoten is based on, well, Element X is based on my original series, Dragon Ball Budoten, on my Megaman 33570 channel. So, once the original Budoten ended after Season 8, the story in between Season 8 and Element X, the events of Dragon Ball Xenoverse occurred, in a sense, in our Budoten lore.
Yeah, so basically this Xenoverse Saga will be telling you what happened between those 54 years from Budoten to Element X, and it will be our interpretation of Xenoverse. So, if you go into it thinking, oh, this is gonna happen, they're gonna go back here, no, it's wrong. Don't get that out of your head. Really, what it is we're taking the Xenoverse concept of Trunks being a time patroller, because as you've seen at the end of the OG Budoten, where he dons the coat and he signs on with the Supreme Kai of Time, this story of Xenoverse is totally different, and it will take elements and bits and pieces from the original story, because obviously there are things that can be used and saved, but this is our Budoten world, and Xenoverse will be in it. So we're gonna tell some stories about some characters you may or may not have been wondering about for the past few years. One being Bandai. We're gonna tell his origin story in this special. So it's gonna be very, very exciting for us to make, and hopefully for you guys to see.
Yeah, there were hints at it in the series. If you watch episode 30, Goku Unleashed, there's a little bit of a hint at the Xenoverse Saga in there. And you can go check it out and see, as well as in the upcoming episode 34, there will be a lot of hints to Bandai's past as well. But another name drop that I'll just add here that I've heard a lot in the fan Discord. Dropping that. If you haven't joined it, go ahead and join that. Join the fan Discord.
Link in the description.
But yeah, one that I see in the fan theory chat a lot is Goten. Goten will be addressed.
Yes.
And we'll mention a bunch of other things. You know, what was life like before Kazuki, before Karina, Kushina, Shiranai. I'm saying too much.
Yeah, so Xenoverse Saga, it's Dragonball Budoten Xenoverse Saga. Next up, we want to talk about Season 2. This is the continuation of the main story of Element X, because we just talked about a lot of spin-offs and side projects that we want to do and that will happen. But Season 2 of Budoten will be... It's going to be another massive step for us, and we're going to hopefully take a lot of cues from even like Zanky Gaming. He does a lot of, well, he did a lot of what-if battles that had a lot of good production quality. We want Season 2 of Element X to have that across the board, and for you to be able to tell, like, exactly how much passion we have for this series, because obviously, we've been doing this for 4 years now on the Element X side of things, and we're not gonna stop. At least not yet.
Right.
So, Season 2 will be really our comeback, so to speak. It's going to be a lot of, like, creative ventures, and we're going to have a lot more, just overall fun with making the series, because right now it's sort of like Act 3 of Element X has been the best so far from production, story, everything, but that's only because we've grown with it. Season 2, we're going to be pushing ourselves a lot further, and hopefully we're going to step up the fanfic game.
Right, you guys, I've seen a lot of things in the Discord asking, you know, why don't you use so much photo mode? Like, ultimately, we want there to be Season 1, and then we want there to be Season 2. Like, this is, like much better, like, and then golden, like, compared to the other one, is just, like, remember when the Krusty Krab opened in the SpongeBob movie? They had the Krusty Krab and the Krusty Krab 2, and it's all, like, lit up and crazy. We want that. We don't want it just to be like, yeah, it's still Element X. We want it to be like, it's the better, like, it is Element X. We want to set kind of a standard in a way.
Yeah.
Not to sound pretentious or anything about, like, selfish or anything.
No, but that's what you do. When you're making something, you want it to be the best it can be, and you want to inspire others around you. That's what Element X has been all about. Like, it's spawned a lot of different fans that have done their own thing now, and they've gotten a lot better at it.
Yeah.
Like Vexby, for example, with Dragonball Chronicles. Shout out to him. Every episode he tends to get better, but there are some things that he just can't get right. But
that's okay, because we help each other in this community, and in a way it's gonna sound weird to hear, but we, in a sense, want to make the Budoten series a hub, in a sense, for other fanfic series to not necessarily, like, take elements from, but, like, have them be... There's the multiverse of fanfics. There's the fanfic multiverse, and we want the Budoten universe, basically, to be the one that everyone passes through in order to, you know, get somewhere else. It's just the hub. It's the Toki Toki. It's where you load in, you know?
Yeah. This is... Like, everyone that's watched Budoten has, or that liked it anyways, have drawn some sort of inspiration from it, and we want to continue that. So, the more fanfics out there, the better, because that means there's a lot more content. But really what we're getting at is, Season 2, you can't just go from the same to more of the same. Like, if you've seen episodes of Element X, you've seen how we get better with each one, but also there's this sort of, like, familiarity with it, where you know it's Budoten. Like, you can't get that sense from anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, we even, it may not be noticeable, but from episode 5 on, there's a certain visual effect added of saturation and contrast that it's just, like, it's a signature look of Budoten, and that's, like, I know the numbers for that, and I know the exact one, and I got it saved. I got the preset saved. I got it in my notes on my external. It's our signature look, and it's not gonna change. And because we are Budoten, we are Team Budoten. We work on this together. You know, when we appreciate all of the fanfics that grow, and we're all about growth as a community.
Yeah.
And that's why we like the fanfic. So get in the fanfic Discord. It's fun.
But yeah, Dragon Ball Budoten Element X Season 2. Reinventing. We're going to be better.
And then there's this thing.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Crossmos. If you were around in like 2016, 2017, you would know that it was a talk a lot during live streams and even had a couple of videos promoting it from Omnom the Great, Kid JDNY, and myself.
I like receiving. Zenny!
Beer tastes like trash.
But it never really came together. And the reason for that is it's just, to be honest, it's a really big project. And it's a lot more to take on than what people might think to get right. So it's all of us have to work together to make this, and we also have to have some sort of understanding of what each series is about. Obviously, we know what Budoten's about. We know what Bloodlines is about. You can fill in the blank with Saga of K. We don't really know what it's about. But that being said, was brought onto the team to help us out with that, so we can actually build something up, and for him to actually continue as well. But different schedules, different work. It tends not to... You can't really work with someone if you're working day and they're working night, so to speak. And that's extended to the Budoten team as well. Like, it's gotten in the way plenty of times.
Yeah.
That's one of the many reasons why there have been massive breaks between episodes. But most of it is that it's an extensive project, and we don't want it to be just some random-ass machinima series that, oh, we have Kazuki K and Jaden. Let's put them in this scenario and let's just have them go at it. No, we don't want that.
That's what BudotenXShinnin will be.
Yeah, pretty much. But we want Crossmos to be this project that has each different series with one thing to pull from. So it's not just affecting this little special. It will be affected in every single series. And we also want this to be the peak for Dragon Ball Machinima, as we've seen, and as we've tried to do with Budoten. It's really not possible in such a short amount of time, and we really couldn't get together and really do it the way we want it. But from here on, I'll say this. I've started a new doc, a script, and we are definitely going to be working on it soon. I'm not going to say it's coming out or anything like that. There's a reason it's all the way at the end of the fucking list. We are going to work on it, and we want to make it great. If you want a little taste of what you can expect, you can check out Omnom the Great's Crossmos trailers that he released on his channel. The link to the Civil War one and the Infinity War one will be in the description below, so definitely check those out.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe.
But Crossmos is something that we don't want to happen overnight. It will be a series, a mini-series, so to speak, that both me and Jaden and all want to do and all want to contribute. And we want that to really set a sort of standard when it comes to crossover specials. But yeah, Dragon Ball Crossmos. There's one last thing I want to talk about. We touched on it when we were talking about Season 2, but really, I really want to make this its own sort of thing. The Xenoverse world as a whole. We started with Xenoverse, and that's where we're staying with Budoten. That is the main game. That's it.
Right. We say we hate it, and we do.
Oh,
Believe
yeah.
us. We
if
do.
I didn't have this series, I would uninstall that game and never play another Dragon Ball game in my fucking life. But
this game, we are convinced it is out to murder us.
yes.
It has a vengeance like Frieza, and it's gonna kill us with a death beam right to the chest.
Fact. But if you follow us on Twitter, and I recommend you do, we tweet a lot more announcement stuff and sort of like showing off glimpses and tastes of what you can get through the next product or from Element X. But we announced something recently that sort of struck something with me, and really I want to do more with it. We announced that Lord of Anime's Levi character was going to be in Budoten. as a part of some sort of squad. You'll find out in the next episode what that is exactly. But it really showed me that Budoten is sort of like Megaman said, it's a hub. And we have Chrono City, which is Conton City for all of you wondering. We've done Toki Toki City, but when it comes down to it, it's still Xenoverse. So what better way to include Xenoverse players, or include the community, than including the players that they look to and that they play with, and the characters that they use. So I think having Levi there will be special, and it'll sort of show that the Xenoverse world is still here in Budoten, even though we haven't shown it as much as we'd like to, which is another reason the Act 1 remaster is happening. But the Xenoverse world is still here, and that's Budoten.
Yeah, so that kind of concludes this update video. There's not really much more we can say about anything for the next, 10 years? With our track record?
Pretty much.
But, on that note, look forward to episode 34 coming out first, soon enough. I can't. No release dates. We're going Shinnin mode on this. It'll be out when it's out, and just with our side content that comes out, we'll probably be having announcements on there like, hey, Element X is going to be coming out whatever date, possibly, only when it's like literally confirmed. But we're not going to leave you in the dark with complete Element X. We have other stuff planned out, and we have the major projects, we got the side projects, and we got the fun series. So,
if you want more updates on that stuff outside of this video, just follow Megaman and myself on Twitter, at Megaman33570 and at PlatinumTDX. We give more updates on those because we use those more frequently.
Yeah, those are also a little more personalized tweets as well about the show, rather than Budoten. We try and be a little more formal with the tweeting. It is us still on there. We don't have like a social media person. We're not that big right now. But we kind of work on it together. Sometimes you'll even see gems where I'll be on there and I'll accidentally retweet something of my humor, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I go try and unretweet.
The next episode of Dragonball Budoten bathroom fight.
But yeah, follow both of them for the most updated stuff. And also follow the Budoten Twitter for the more formal and then the polls and all the interactive stuff.
And if there's anything you want to see, leave it down in the comments section down below. Also, just tell us what you think about the series so far. Where do you think it's going? Do you think spin-offs are a good idea? What do you think about the upcoming ones?
Yeah, and also, the comments are free, the Discord is free, and yeah. We're getting out of here. Alright, we're done. Bye.